In a small coastal town called Havenview, where the waves lapped quietly against the shore, there were rumors of the ghost of a lost sailor. The locals said his spirit roamed the deserted beaches, calling out to those who dared to hear him. The legend of the lost sailor named Jacob had been passed down from generation to generation. 20 years ago, on a stormy night, his ship, the Siren, was wrecked off the rocky coast. According to the elders, Jacob was a brave and experienced captain, but on that fateful night the storm was so strong that even the most experienced sailors could not withstand its fury. His crew disappeared into the vast waters, and Jacob himself was rumored to have been swallowed up by the dark waves that left no trace. Many years passed, but the rumors about Jacob did not subside. One day, a group of teenagers, including Emily, Tom, and Jake, decided to go to the beach to spend the night around a campfire and listen to ghost stories. Rumors about Jacob had always intrigued Emily, and she was determined to see his ghost. As they sat around the fire, Tom had an idea. "Let's try to summon Jacob's ghost." Emily, though a little scared, agreed. They gathered some seashells and turned to the sea and began to say Jacob's name. The wind picked up, and the sea rumbled as if answering their challenge. Suddenly tension hung in the air. Darkness enveloped the beach and the moon seemed to disappear behind the clouds. Emily felt a chill run down her spine. Suddenly they heard a faint whisper coming from the sea. A thin but distinct voice said, "Help!" The teenagers' hearts beat faster. They looked at each other, and despite their fear, Emily decided to move closer to the water. The same voice came again, louder this time, "I'm lost." Their fears became real when Emily saw a figure emerge from the mist. It was Jacob, his clothes ruined and his face contorted with grief. He looked like he was part of the sea, as if his soul was sealed in the water. "Help me find my crew!" he exclaimed, his voice sounding like the wind whipping between the rocks. Emily, shocked, felt her heart clench. She knew they had to help him. Gathering her wits, Emily offered, "We can help you. Tell us where you last saw your team." Jacob looked at them hopefully, his eyes shining, and he began to tell about his team, the storm, the fear, and how they were trying to escape. Suddenly the clouds parted and the moon illuminated the beach. The teens were suddenly caught in a whirlwind of memories. They saw Jacob and his crew fighting the waves, their screams silenced in the storm. Emily realized that they were witnessing a tragedy that had happened years ago. "I can't leave this place until I find them!" Jacob repeated, his voice growing more and more desperate. Emily felt that this was her chance to bring peace not only to Jacob, but to his team as well. Gathering together, they decided to recreate the moment when Jacob and his crew were on the ship. Emily lit candles and arranged them in the shape of the ship on the sand. They began repeating the names of the sailors Jacob knew. The wind began to die down and the sea calmed down. Suddenly, there was a sound like someone actually coming out of the water. Emily and her friends saw the ghosts of Jacob's crew one by one come ashore, their faces full of gratitude. Jacob was finally able to let go of his soul, and the shadows of his team disappeared with him. When the last of the ghosts were gone, Jacob turned to Emily and her friends. "Thank you," he said with a slight smile. "I'm free now." With those words, his spirit vanished into the light of dawn, leaving behind only a light sea breeze. The next day in Havenview, everyone noticed that the sea was calmer, and the residents felt peaceful and tranquil. Emily and her friends knew they had done something important that helped not only Jacob, but everyone who had ever been lost at sea. Though the ghost of the lost sailor is gone, his story remains in the hearts of those who dared to do the feat that changed everything.